This is Ricky Hoare from Motionless in White, and you're listening to Morgan Richards on Radio Cardiff.
Hey, I'm Morgan Richards from Radio Cardiff. I'm backstage here at the O2 Academy in Bristol. I'm joined now by a band who are infamous for their loud and untouchable anthems. It's, of course, the one and only Ricky Hoare from Motionless in White.
Hello. How are you doing?
How's the band, man? How's things?
Good. Everything's been great. Excited to be here tonight and excited to see how the show goes.
Yeah, so good start to 2018 with this UK tour.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been. I don't want to say worlds better, but it's definitely been better than it has in the past that we've been here. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a great start.
So Ricky, since the release of your latest album, Graveyard Shift, it's safe to say the band have elevated to completely new heights and really a new level as a band. Being 4 albums in now, do you see this record as the really best representation of Motionless in White?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think Graveyard Shift is an album that kind of condenses everything that we've done in the past into one more kind of generalized sound, rather than kind of. I feel like Creatures was the more metalcore side of things.
Yeah.
I feel like Infamous went the very industrial side of things, and I feel like we tried to kind of bridge that gap and reincarnate. It felt like we were almost there, and then with this album I feel like we definitely hit the nail on the head, and I definitely think it's where we're gonna keep our sound. I think so. Or I mean we're a band that experiments, of course, so I wouldn't say that we wouldn't experiment in a different, not in a different direction, but just a couple songs that might be a little bit different, but I think with Graveyard Shift we definitely nailed it.
Okay.
So
because you've all stated in the past that really this album was so easy for you to make. You kind of knew in advance where you kind of wanted to go with this material. So was the writing just really free flowing as much as possible?
I think that it more so was just kind of maybe subconsciously we kind of knew where we were and how we wanted to get there, whereas Reincarnate, it kind of felt like a stretch to kind of put the pieces in the puzzle that we couldn't quite make fit. And I don't know, I don't think that it was a conscious thing. I think we just went into it and it was very, very easy and relaxed, and it just worked. So I'm hoping that the next album will be just as easy, so we'll see.
Fantastic. And throughout your career, people have always admired that you're a band who are always trying to create your own identity, both musically and visually. Yeah. When you're a band who are as busy and touring as much as you are, how hard is it trying to keep everything fresh and come in with new ideas?
I think that it depends. I mean, I think it's one of those things where being in our lifestyle, it's very easy to kind of get cut off from the rest of the world, and I feel like through that you can either get lost in movies and TV shows and things like that can inspire you to kind of try new things and go in different directions, but then there's also the side of you that can also not do that, and then it's like I don't know how to explain it. When I'm home, I don't typically listen to a whole lot of music, so for me this is a really good question, because I have to find inspiration completely outside of music when I go into writing, just because we're involved in heavy music so often that I'm just so burnt on listening to that style of music, so when I'm home I listen to like Ariana Grande and like Nick Jonas and just pop stuff, just something completely off the wall and different. And, I feel like, contrary to what everyone thinks, everyone in our band listens to a very wide range of music, and I feel like that definitely helps in the writing process, because I don't think a lot of people realize how hard writing pop music is, because I've tried to write a couple songs that are in that vein, and it's so hard. It's so difficult. But back to what you're saying, I think that I have to draw inspiration from other things. Maybe I will bring some inspiration from that side of the things and see where that takes us. But that's pretty much where I come from anyway.
So when you're home, do you think it's really quite important to just kind of relax, take your mind off,
of course,
touring and kind of metal in general, and just kind of explore your horizons a bit more?
Of course, yeah. I think that it's I mean, as often as we tour, I think that it's important to kind of be able to breathe and recharge your batteries. And yeah, I think that when I first started in the band, it was just go, 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 and I love this kind of music, and it was all I listened to, and it was just pounded me down so fast, and now I'm at the point where I'm trying to reverse all that damage and try and kind of breathe and take in other sources of inspiration. So I think it's important just to be a kind of well-versed musician in general, to listen to every type of music and let it inspire you in different ways.
And saying that, of course, one of the band's biggest ever influences, Korn frontman Jonathan Davis, actually features on the latest single, Necessary Evil, from the record. Of course, you're no stranger to collaborations in the past, but was being able to work with him quite a surreal moment, thinking back to the really effect Korn had all of you growing up?
Yeah, of course. I think it was a moment where we kind of, we all looked at it as one of those moments where your life comes full circle. It was a band that we grew up listening to when we were younger, and then all of a sudden now we have an album that Jonathan Davis sings on, and it felt very almost like the cycle had come and completed, and now we're on to see where it takes us next. So yeah, it was definitely a surreal thing. He's a great guy. The whole band is an awesome band. We did a short tour with them. I think it was last year, but yeah, they were all very, very, very kind people, and it was great to be able to work with them.
And of course, looking back, so much has really changed for Motionless In White over the last decade. Even for yourself, coming in to the band, you started playing on bass and moved on to guitar and everything like that. For you, is it quite refreshing that you've been able to keep yourselves on your feet and being able to expand to new territories and ideas?
Oh yeah, of course. I think that it can be a little bit discouraging if you don't kind of grow in those kind of ways. So I think that it's nice to be able to look back and see all the different progressions that we've made over the years, and a lot of times we don't really see it from the inside. A lot of people, when they talk about us being in a band or where we see ourselves or whatever, I still feel like we're the band that's playing in a 400 cap room. That I don't know how to explain it. It's so weird. It's like we're cut off, and it's just that where we kind of grew from is where I will always think that we are, no matter what venues we play in or how many people come to shows or whatever. So it's very humbling to look back, and especially with us playing Download recently, it was just, I was like, I don't even know who we are anymore. So it's very cool to be able to see that. I'm very thankful.
Oh, awesome. And as you mentioned, you're really excited now to see where the band's really going to take you all next. Of course, the rest of this year is just going to be filled with tour and supporting this record, but what else can we really expect from Motionless In White coming up?
Well, we're doing a US tour after this, the second leg of the Graveyard Shift US tour, and then we're doing a summer tour that I can't say anything about yet. It's very secret. And then I think we're going to start dabbling in some writing maybe for the next record at some point. I don't know when or how that's going to go or anything, but I'm just kind of playing it by ear, and that's really it. I mean, we have a pretty relaxed schedule this year, which is nice. So we'll see where it takes us.
Well, fantastic. Well, that's about it. But cheers, Matt, for taking time out to have a quick chat with me.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
No, my pleasure. Best luck with everything now, and hopefully we can catch you again very soon.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.